So I'm packing to head out of town right now, and a very interesting thing has been kind of moving through me. I've been shuffling my stuff around. One of the first things that I always think about when I'm packing is, oh my gosh, when and why have I accumulated so much shit? Like, who needs all this stuff? And then I get this massive urge to just purge everything, light a match, and send it up in a ball of flames. But then inevitably, when I start behaving like that, like a week or two later, I'm like, wait a minute. I think like I can't find my second boot from my favorite pair of boots. And then I have selective amnesia because I can't recall that I just set everything on fire 2 weeks earlier. So it's taking a lot of discipline for me to not run around and just throw things out the window onto my neighbor's roof. I digress. Interestingly, what has also been happening for me today has been this very weird sober thing where I've been finding old journals and finding old copies of things that I'd written down, different goals, different challenges I'd given myself. And one of the things I stumbled across was this list of things that I had hoped would have shifted a year ago. And it was very charged, which is my personality. I am 700% all of the things. We've already discussed this. And many of the things on this list were such really, I want to say, not just like cool fun, they were really juicy, really highly charged, really like move the heart in the chest, like drop all of that beautiful deliciousness in and through you in every way that you can imagine. But at the time, I remember thinking, this feels so far away. I feel like I am light years away from experiencing, even beginning to experience some of these things. I stumbled across a couple other things that were kind of little challenges I'd given myself to support my clients. There's a client of mine who has an incredibly powerful gift who really needs to use her voice. Isn't it ironic? Anyway, I digress again. And so I told her that if she agrees to start stepping out and using her voice, I will post a video a day until, she feels like she's being encouraged, and I will match her and I will journey with her. Turns out she wasn't ready. She has similar fears and stresses to me, and so she didn't start posting. But I found that today, and I thought it was curious. I'll actually maybe add it as one of the podcasts coming up soon. Anyway, finding all these things, these promises I have made myself, these wishes I have sent up into the skies in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. when I was, tapping on my shoulder and being like, why can't you just fall asleep? And other times when I was sobbing through the night in seasons where things just felt like they never changed. What's my point? My point is this simple one today. When you know in your heart and in your body, when you can connect to that light signature inside of you that is undeniably, unshakably, what is the word? Like nothing can come and squash the reality of the truth of how clear that bell sounds. It's like if you took a tuning fork and hit it and it echoed through the deepest part of you. When you drop into that essence, even in times when you are in deep pain, in times when the challenges just feel like they are never going to end, like the tidal waves are just going to roll in and roll in and roll in. When you pick your fingers up and you pen a piece of paper with these treasures, with diamonds that you feel like you're pulling out of the sky, and you just start to write them down. When you seed your life with your own desires, your own promises, without judgment, without panicking and thinking, well, how am I going to do this? Or thinking, this is a pipe dream. I promise you now, something, someone, something is watching. Some beautiful, beautiful, delicious force is breathing over those seeds. Everything that is the best part of you is already attempting to figure it out, how to nudge and bump you and move you closer and closer and closer so you can kiss those dreams. And so while I feel tender about how many of them have not unfolded yet, I have learned that my longing is sacred, that I am not insane. I am not wild for longing for just what is beyond anything that I have ever known or experienced or felt. And even though now, as I speak to you, it just doesn't make any logical sense, a lot of what I have seeded into my own field of dreams doesn't make any logical sense on paper. But it's really true, and it's really deep. And as much of a bonkers banana crazy person I am, as much as I'm not necessarily the most cookie cutter girl that anybody's ever going to meet, I know that I know that I know that I know that my promises are true. And I don't know how, but I know that I'll get there. So if you are rummaging through a transition right now, if you are packing, if you are thinking of moving, if you are closing out a cycle, and somehow in the intensity of all of the moving pieces shuffling on the chessboard, you have forgotten, I want to remind you today, your seeds are beautiful and golden. And when things shift, they will move quickly. Which is also why I'm kind of doing this. I'm like, well, I don't know when the tide will turn. But when it does, I'll have beautiful seed to show.